Welcome, welcome, welcome.
I'm Darrell.
And I'm Jeff, and we are D&J Empowerment Group. And welcome back to episode 3 of the Victory Series. And like we always said before, guys, we created this series to provide content for people out there who have lost hope and feel like there's no light at the end of the tunnel. We want to let you know that you're not alone.
Yep, so episode number 3 is one of my best friends, Juan, aka JP. You know, him and his wife went through some struggles through business and also through parenthood, and now they're using their struggles to help others. Episode number 3 is JP.
Let's go.
I'm Juan Paul Lattimore, and this is my victory story. My name is Juan Paul Lattimore, and I'm from Yugo, Oklahoma. Grew up in a family of 5, 2 brothers, 3 brothers, 4 brothers, and a sister. And you know, we just did regular things. I played sports. I really thought I was good in basketball in high school, got to college, and really didn't get to play as much as I liked. You know, graduated from college. I grew up in a 2-parent household. I would say that my dad is my best friend. I'm more like him than maybe I'm like anybody else, even though I don't look like him more than my brothers do. We have the same temperament, and he did show me a very hard work ethic. One thing that my dad did teach me is to go out and get what you're worth. One example that I never got until I got older was when we were younger, we all idolized Michael Jordan. And my daddy would tell me Michael Jordan gets paid minimum wage. And I was like, no, he didn't. And he was like, yes, he does. And he was like, if he's getting however many millions he's getting, how many millions is the man getting that's cutting his check? And so when we started to think of it that way, you know, then you start to understand going out and getting what you're worth. And if you can get closer to whatever that is, that's something that I've always wanted to do. I've known my wife since I was knee-high to the tree-high. We met when I was really young, and we were just friends. Like, my mom and her mom are best friends. And so we always grew up around each other. But it wasn't until later that something changed. We just kind of went in and out, and you know, we kind of danced in and out of each other's lives, and we just kind of came back to it. And she just kind of, you know, held me down. The reason that we are together is because when she looks at me, the way that she loves me, I don't know how to put it than other than she loves me the way that God does. And she forces me to be better. And it's not because she nags me, it's not because she's constantly on me, it's because she loves me for who she thinks I could be. And I think that the Lord loves us in the same way. She doesn't let me make it. You know, when I mess up, she tells me that I messed up, but it's always held up next to who she thinks I could be or what she thinks I could be. And when we really started dating, I wasn't any of those things. What I believe that God wants for me more than anything is to be the man that he made me to be. I'm not saying that I'm perfect, but I'm saying that I'm working. And it's been through all of these things that have allowed us to see God work in our life and allowed us to grow and do so much. I had a dream of being an entrepreneur, of being a franchisee, of being a business owner. And my wife supported me in that. She had to teach me how to communicate. She had to teach me how to relay messages. She had to teach me all of those things. And another thing that I do is that I always want things to look perfect. I always want it to come out as a finished product. And so might I lie along the way to make it look better? I do, and I don't want to do that, but that's something that I had to work on. And so she calls me on it, and she tells me about it, and it hurts. But that's something that needed to be done in me, and that makes me better as a business person. There were times when we didn't know how we were going to make payrolls. There was one time when we needed to pay a $8,500 payroll, and we only had $1,500 at the beginning of the day. And we were praying about it, and we were thinking about it, not knowing how we were going to make it. But around 4:30 that day, we were able to get what we needed. And it was just another way of trusting, for one, who we are and the things that we believe, but also who God is to provide for us. And all of these things were happening together to kind of push us to a place of trusting God more and believing God more for what He has for us. But I don't think any of those things could have prepared us for what was the biggest challenge in our life. And that would be us having a baby. It's probably the hardest thing that we had to deal with together. And also all of the things that led up to that prepared us for it. As I was saying, we had to trust the Lord for money, and we had to trust Him for a job, and He's been working on us individually. But when all of those things came to a head, it came to a head in one specific situation. My wife has endometriosis. I'm sure if you have endometriosis, you know what that is. But she had always been told that she wouldn't be able to have kids from when she was a teenager. But we had sat down, and that's one of the things that we prayed about more than anything else. And we went to the doctor, and the doctor told me that I had a low sperm count. They actually told me that the reason that I don't get sick very often is the same reason that we couldn't have kids. And so that became very hard. And then we had a decision to make. And that decision was, were we going to believe what people said about us? Or were we going to believe what people said to us? Or were we going to trust who God made us to be and what His Word says? Now, because we had those experiences, we were able to draw on that together. But that doesn't make it any easier. That doesn't make it any easier to deal with. And then you start to think of all the things that you've done wrong, all the things that you could have done different. And then you might even ask yourself the really tough question is, do I deserve it? Or what did I do to deserve it? And then you'll start nitpicking everything, and you'll start to look at how you could have caused this on yourself. And it hurts. But through it all, it was growing something in us. My wife, she had asked me one time if we should adopt, because more than anything, I wanted to be a dad. I felt like that to adopt at that point would be to try to get an answer to a prayer that we had been praying on our own. And I didn't want to give up on that. And so I told her I'm not against adopting, but after we have a baby. And we were getting up in years. We've been married 10 years, April 1st. And it had been 9 years, and we still had no baby. So you do begin to think, will this happen for us? Might this not happen for us? But as we drew up on the lessons that had happened in our life, we just trusted the Lord for it. And my wife got pregnant. To see that happen when everybody's telling you that it can't, to watch your friends have kids, to watch people abort kids, to watch people that don't want kids get pregnant, to watch all of that and know that you're trying and that you're trying to live your life as best you can before God, and then to not get pregnant, to not have that blessing, to not have that experience, it hurts. But when you see it happen, it literally feels like the Red Sea opening in your life. And when I look at my daughter, I don't know if she's the prettiest girl in the world or not, but I know that I waited 10 years to see her face, and every time I see it, I'm only happy that I see it. And so you can do any of those things, but I want you to know that you are made in the image of God. And what that means is that you have value even when you don't feel like it. Whatever it is that you think you can do that simply because you were made in the image of God. And it doesn't matter what you've been through. It doesn't matter what the trials and tribulations were. It doesn't matter who said you could do it or who said you couldn't. Now me and my wife are at a point where we are trying to go back and correct our wrongs. We are trying to take advantage of opportunities that have been presented to us and allow other people to take advantage of those opportunities. I want to, more than anything, show that the God that brought us through this, through all of these things, will be what leads my daughter forward. But I really want my daughter to be able to live out the character of her name. And when she was born, we named her Zariah. And Zariah means helped by God. And right now, that is a message to me and my wife, that we were helped by God, that we may remember that. But moving forward, we want her to remember that and her to have her own story, that she has been helped by God moving forward. And so our job is to help her live out the character of her name. And we also want you guys to live out the character of who you are and to know that you as well were made in the image of God.
So we truly hope that you were inspired by JP's story. See, I've told you before, JP is one of my best friends, and I asked him to share his story because I needed you to understand that even though we see people go through things from afar, sometimes the people close to us are going through things as well. And so what JP's story taught us was that even though we strive to be entrepreneurs or great businessmen, even though we strive to walk in our calling, and even though we have the ultimate dream of being parents, sometimes it seems like it can't or it won't happen. But we have to continue to trust God through the process. We can do anything and we can be anything we put our minds to. It doesn't matter who says we can or who says we can't. It doesn't even matter who put their limitations on us. You're the director of your life. I've said it before. Yes, life is tough. Yes, life is challenging. You were made in the image of God. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Listen to me, your life matters. You have value, and life is worth pushing through because God didn't call you to be a victim. He called you to be a victor. Stop with the negativity. It's not a good look. Start speaking life into your situation and go be victorious. Straight up.
As always, guys, thank you for checking out the channel. Please like, comment, and subscribe. We want to thank you guys for showing so much love and support on episode 1 and episode 2. We hope episode 3 touches your heart the same way. And like we said before, and we're going to continue to say, guys, please make sure to share this video out to as many people as possible. We want to touch people all across the globe and let them know that there are other people out there who are going through similar struggles. If you want to check out more content from us, please check our website out at www.djempowerment.com. And if you want to check out the previous videos, make sure to take a look at our playlist. And as always, guys, we'll catch you on the next one. Straight up.